Let me explain your program. Here we are going to read the input as height from the user in centimeter. We are going to read this value and we are going to say the person's height is falls under which category. So the first value is which is going to check with, for example, here 135 is the input which is entered by the user. And if this input is compared with the range, that is the first condition, if it is less than 150, that is, then he is called as, now the centimeter from 1 centimeter to 150, then it is going to be called as dwarf. 150 to 165 average height, 165 to 195 tall, and other than that any values entered by the user greater than this value is going to be classified as abnormal height person. So how to do coding for this program we are going to see. So here in this program, first part is about documentation, then it is followed the header file, that is here the standard input output header files which are required for this program. Then you have to define the main function, and here in this program the first part is declaration of variable. Here only one variable we need for processing, that is height, so we are declaring the variable as h. And we are going to prompt the user using printf statement to enter your height in centimeter. So like that, this information we are giving to the user. When he enters the value, we are going to read it and store it in a variable h. So percentage, the first part is specifier, you have to mention in percentage d comma. The second argument is the variable name, but here you have to mention the address of the variable using ampersand h. What is the first condition we are going to write now? So using the if statement, the first condition is if height is less than 150. So 1 to 150 range, if it falls, then we are going to say in printf statement, height is, what is the value of height also we are going to print. So height is, what is the value of height? So height is percentage d, the specifier you have to mention. And he falls under which category, that is, that also we are going to say dwarf. And the second argument you have to mention the variable alone. Like this, the second condition you are going to write, that is in an else if statement, else if so here the height is less than or equal to 150 and height is less than 165, that is 150 to 165 means we are going to say his height is falls under the category, that is height is percentage, the specifier, followed by the category is called average height, and the second argument h value we just mentioned. And then one more condition, and here if the height is greater than or equal to 165, that is 165 to 195, less than or equal to 195 means we are going to say this height is the value we are going to print, followed by we are going to say he is tall. So double quote comma, the variable name you have to mention. And the last category, that is greater than 195 onwards, we are going to say for any other values we are going to say it is abnormal. So here also we want to print what is the height value entered by the user, and that we are going to print, followed by we are going to say abnormal. So with this we have to stop the program and you can go for compiling the program. So here you compile the program using cc file name.c, and then if there is no error you can go for executing the output using /a.out command. So it is asking the first category we are going to give the input. For example, I am giving the height is 110 centimeter, so it is saying dwarf. And for the second condition we are going to feed the input. Now the height is 160, so he's an average height person. And the next category I'm going to give the height is 190, so he's a tall person. And if I give greater than, for example, 250 centimeter, then it is an abnormal. So this is how you have to give the inputs, and you have to verify whether all the conditions are written properly and it is executed and compiled properly by the compiler. That's all about this program. So this is how you can read the input height, and you can classify the person's height using if and else if statements.